What if the truth you thought you knew about your favorite idol was only half the story? Imagine stepping into a nearly deserted cafe on a rainy evening, the scent of roasted coffee clinging to the air, and noticing a figure hunched in the farthest corner, his face half hidden beneath a dark hoodie, shoulders drawn tight as if carrying a weight too heavy to share. Would you dare to look closer? Would you recognize him, or would you second-guess your eyes? The clock ticked toward midnight when the door's soft chime betrayed a new arrival. She slipped inside, her footsteps quick but measured, the kind of presence that feels both familiar and out of place. Without a word, she slid into the seat across from him. For a heartbeat, neither spoke. The world outside blurred into streaks of rain while a strange tension pulsed between them, silent yet thunderous whispers of their identity ripple like wildfire through the city tonight. Who is this mysterious artist, the one who once filled arenas with electric anthems and flawless choreography, now sitting with eyes that hold storms? And who is she, the shadowed companion whose mere arrival seems to pull him further into quiet despair? Could this be a long-lost friend, a confidant from the days before fame, or someone carrying a message that will change his life forever? Every detail fuels speculation. The untouched cups of coffee cooling on the table. The way his fingers drum against the wood, an unconscious rhythm of anxious thought. Her gaze that flickers between sorrow and resolve. Do they share a secret heartbreak, a plan, or a farewell? Fans who caught a fleeting glimpse through the rain-speckled window swear they saw a glint of tears. Others insist it was only the reflection of the streetlight. Which version would you believe? Outside, a few startled pedestrians linger, phones half-raised, unsure if this encounter is meant to be captured or kept sacred. They hesitate, the weight of unspoken respect holding them back. Inside, the pair leans closer, their voices low but urgent. The cafe's warm glow turns into a stage where the stakes feel impossibly high, an unscripted drama that no fan meeting or livestream could ever replicate. Could this be the prelude to a new beginning or the quiet conclusion of a story we've never known? What promise, what confession, waits in the soft murmur of their conversation? Tomorrow, when the first rumors flicker across social feeds, the world will clamor for answers. But tonight, all we have is the echo of their silence and the mystery of a meeting that refuses to explain itself. The night outside stretched deeper, as if the city itself conspired to keep the cafe hidden beneath its velvet sky. Inside, the pair remained in their secluded corner, a hush of intimacy that invited 1,000 possibilities. The barista, pretending to tidy the counter, glanced their way more than once. Was it concern, curiosity, or the sense that something extraordinary was taking place just beyond the reach of ordinary eyes? The young man, still known to the world only as a dazzling performer with countless chart-topping hits, seemed different under the cafe's dim light. His usually confident posture slumped slightly, every movement careful, deliberate. The soft glow caught the faint tremor in his hands as he wrapped them around the still-warm cup. Steam drifted upward, tracing ephemeral patterns in the air, as though carrying unspoken words that refused to fall. The woman across from him leaned forward, her own expression a complex storm of worry and determination. Her presence radiated quiet strength, the kind that anchors a drifting soul. Who was she? A producer with a secret proposal? A childhood friend carrying news from a life before fame? Or someone whose connection ran deeper than any fan could imagine? Each possibility sparked a new wave of questions, like pebbles tossed into a midnight lake. Minutes passed, though they felt like hours, punctuated only by the distant hum of the espresso machine and the occasional sigh from the street outside. The man finally spoke, his voice so low that even the barista, now openly curious, couldn't catch the words. But the look in his eyes told a story of heavy burdens and crossroads unseen by the public eye. Was this a confession, a farewell, or a desperate plea for guidance? A sudden gust of wind rattled the door, startling them both. He reached across the table, fingers brushing hers in a silent plea for reassurance. Their eyes met, an electric moment that seemed to draw the entire cafe into its gravity. If a secret passed between them in that instant, it was locked in a realm beyond sound, beyond cameras, beyond the clamor of an adoring public. Outside, a pair of fans who had lingered for a glimpse exchanged uneasy glances. They sensed something fragile, something too intimate to capture. Phones stayed in pockets, the impulse to document gave way to a reverence for whatever truth was unfolding behind the rain-streaked glass. Inside, time thickened, stretching and bending until the outside world no longer mattered. His shoulders straightened, as if a decision had finally crystallized. She nodded once, her eyes reflecting both sorrow and relief. Then, without a single dramatic gesture, they rose from the table. No rush, no panic, just a quiet agreement written in the language of shared understanding. The bell above the door chimed softly as they stepped into the night. The rain had slowed to a gentle mist, the streets shimmering beneath the amber glow of streetlights. Their figures disappeared into the labyrinth of the city, leaving behind nothing but 2 half-finished cups of coffee and the faint echo of a moment that would ignite endless speculation. What was said in those whispered exchanges? Was it a promise to return, a plan for a secret project, or the last goodbye between two souls who had crossed paths one final time? The cafe remained silent, holding its secrets close, and now the question lingers with you. What do you believe happened during that fateful meeting? Could it signal a new chapter in the star's life, one that fans will celebrate or mourn? Drop your theories below, share this story with fellow mystery seekers, and stay tuned. Because in a world where every glance can become a headline, sometimes the quietest nights hide the loudest truths. The rain-washed streets seemed to swallow their footsteps, but the story of that night refused to end where the cafe door closed. Hours later, the city pulsed with a rumor that drifted like smoke through late-night group chats and feverish fan forums. A single message, "Did anyone else see them?" was enough to spark a wildfire of speculation. Screens lit up across time zones. Some claimed they recognized the star's silhouette from a fleeting reflection in a puddle outside the cafe. Others insisted the entire encounter was a cleverly staged teaser for an unannounced project. Was it art imitating life, or life slipping beyond the boundaries of performance? Meanwhile, the cafe itself became a kind of shrine. By dawn, curious onlookers pressed their palms to the rain-spattered window, staring at the empty corner table where 2 cups sat cold and abandoned. The faint ring of condensation on the wood seemed almost like a signature, evidence of a mystery that would never be fully explained. The barista, fielding gentle but relentless questions, offered only a knowing smile. "People meet here all the time," he said. "But some nights, some meetings are different." Across the city, the star walked beneath flickering street lamps, the weight of decision heavy yet strangely freeing. Every step carried echoes of the conversation that had unfolded in whispers. Had he made a promise he could keep? Had she delivered news that would alter his next song, his next move, his next heartbeat? By mid-morning, hashtags had already climbed the trending charts. #midnight meeting, #silent star, #cave confession. Theories multiplied. Some were tender, imagining a long-awaited reunion with a friend who once kept his secrets safe. Others were daring, suggesting a creative alliance that might shatter expectations and reshape his career. But beneath every guess lay the same trembling question: what truly happened in that quiet corner? Even those who had never heard his music found themselves drawn into the riddle. There is something universal about the image of 2 people leaning close across a table, the world outside dissolving while the air between them hums with unspoken truths. Perhaps that is why the story spread, not merely because of fame, but because every heart recognizes the fragile electricity of a moment that could change everything. Night would fall again, as it always does, but that particular evening remained suspended in a timeless hush. Somewhere, the star might already be shaping the next melody, each note infused with the memory of rain on glass and a single look that said what words could not.